Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AIM Impact on Your Health. AIM Impact on Your Health for every day. Our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AIM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AIM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, first Wednesday of the month, always a special day around here. When we can get her, we just love talking to this young lady, health coach for over 30 years at UCLA, PhD to boot. Dr. Susan Smith-Jones will be our guest today. In keeping with that January theme of resolutions and weight loss and carbohydrate protection, she too has her own way of approaching it. You'll love to hear how she makes weight loss made easy in what she refers to as her metabolism tone up. So we're going to tone up with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones today, right after our first break. You want to pay attention for that and look forward to our discussion with her. If in the course of our discussion you want to call in, ask a question, to make a comment, or just plain weigh in, got that? Weigh in. Why don't you give us a call at 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. I'll give that number additionally throughout the hour. The month keeps marching on. Don't forget that tomorrow here in the office, after having a very nice show with her on Monday, Susie Weiss is going to be in the office tomorrow morning. If you heard our show on Monday, or maybe you didn't and like to know more about essential oils, in particular a company called Young Living, Susie Weiss is going to be in my office tomorrow at 10 o'clock. For those of you out there who'd like to learn more about how to use essential oils for your own personal health issues and those of your family. So if you'd like to be a part of that free seminar, why don't you give us a call today, just so we can hold a seat for you. The number to do that is to dial us up at 724-942-2482, and we'll leave the light on, as they say, and enjoy having you in my office tomorrow so you can learn about the essential oils and Young Living in particular. On Friday, we'll do a Baresha report. It's been a number of weeks now since we have, and we'll open up the phones to you before the show is over with to sort of get it off your chest with the up-and-coming weekend. And I will look forward to giving you that opportunity. We'll have, Saturday is the launch date. Boy, we got really messed up last Saturday with the meet, greet, and treat. We got that, black ice condition, terrible road conditions on Saturday morning, hitting just about the time that people were ready to jump in their cars to come out to see us. Many of them, including Patty Szymanski herself, the lady who runs the program, she lives in Johnstown. It was completely impossible for her to make it. So we had an enjoyable time with the few who did show. But this weekend is the launch for the TLS program. Now, you've been hearing us talk about it. It is that time of the year for resolutions and weight losses, and it just may very well be that you need some help in accomplishing those goals and objectives. I say, for sure you need some help, and Patty Szymanski is the gal to do it. TLS stands for Transition Lifestyle Systems. This is not her first rodeo. She's been teaching these courses for over 9 years and just completed a full 10-weeker. This meets on Saturdays now for 10 full weeks at the South Point exit on I-79. The venue in particular is referred to as South Point Chiropractic. It's located right at that exit. When you get off at 79, turn away from the South Point building complexes, go up the hill to the Hendersonville light, and right at that light, you'll see a shopping center on your left. It'll be down in there. That meets each and every Saturday morning. If you'd like to be a part of the TLS program, also give us a call. Ask for Sister Sarah when you do, but the number is 724-942-3002. Got an email from Ty Vincent this morning. We'll get this resolved. He's scheduled to be interviewed this coming Friday, and he tells me he has a conflict. That'd be 9 o'clock in the morning if he's in his Hawaii residence. So we'll arrange in one way or another to get this thing completed so that I interview him off air, but bring him to you on Monday morning show talking about LDI. Now we call it LDI instead of LDA. Same thing, but much more capabilities now that we have the Ty Vincent mixtures. We're specifically be talking about autoimmune diseases, and in that particular category, a well-known disease recently identified as autoimmune, and that's called Lyme's disease. And everybody in Pennsylvania has certainly heard of it, and unfortunately, as the number 2 state of those afflicted with Lyme's, it's unfortunately too well known by too many, and it is a nightmare of a disease. Anyway, Ty Vincent will be our guest on Monday. It'll be pre-recorded, but nonetheless, you'll enjoy it. Following Monday, Shannon Gosen will be back with us. She is our representative when it comes to discussing all things frequency-specific microcurrent. FSM is the moniker. Everything has 3 initials, don't you know it? Frequency-specific microcurrent will have a big and prominent role to play in this office, as it should be playing at a practitioner near you. We'll be encouraging practitioners to get involved with this, but we're bringing you the message by Shannon on the 19th. Now, if you've been in my office and treated with FSM, Shannon will be coming up to Pittsburgh and spending the entire day in my office on the 30th. So I haven't spoken to you already. We're looking to get you arranged to see Shannon for about a 30 to 45 minute encounter on Friday, the 30th, while she spends a day in the office and sort of specifically assessing those who already have identified themselves with medical problems that are currently receiving frequency-specific microcurrent. Anyway, that's the up and coming on Shannon and microcurrent for the month. Then the final thing I wanted to bring to your attention, because we get just about enough time to accomplish the objective, and of course I'm talking about the things that we do at the Pittsburgh Eye Protocol. This is a organization affiliated with Healing the Eye and Wellness Center. Dr. Ed Condrat, famous Healing the Eye Center, located in Dade City, Florida. We are his northern affiliate. You have heard him on these airways on many occasions. Went back in the day when he himself did the 3-day treatment programs, and then having passed the baton to us in July of 2013, we've been doing these programs every month, 3-day treatment programs. We will get your issues turned around, and you'll begin to restore lost vision in diseases you didn't think it possible in, particularly the retinal diseases of macular degeneration, glaucoma, and diabetic retinopathy. Cataracts are also dealt with. That is not a retinal disease, however, and we are effective, just not as effective as we can be with the retinal diseases, because there is no conventional treatment of noteworthiness for it. In fact, in 3 days, we have substantial turnarounds. The data that supports this is found on the website. Go to PittsburghEyeProtocol.com, and on the opening page, we'll just scroll to the second page there where it talks about the services, and then you'll see a link talking about the statistics. You'll want to see the statistical breakdown for those afflicted with eye diseases, those serious ones, and how well they do on these 3-day programs. check that out and then give us a call, 724-942-3002. The eye treatment program for the month of January will be held 19, 20, and 21 in my office. Looking forward to meeting a new group of you. If you have that interest, once again, 724-942-3002. Okay, let's take a short break. It is First Wednesday. She'll be with us, folks, and she's got a metabolism tone-up to discuss with you, as well as her newsletter and every other thing under the sun. We'll be right back with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AIM Impact on Your Health. Heard here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on a Wednesday morning version of the show. Not just a Wednesday, it's First Wednesday around here, and that's really a special day. We have affiliated ourselves with a young lady who brings messages of how to take charge of your own health in a completely natural way that pays off in much larger dividends than anything conventional ever did. She's been instructing people for over 30 years in the art of taking care of themselves, and has a personal client list of some of the biggest names known throughout the United States and in Hollywood. She comes each and every month to give you a message of hope and to stimulate you to move and act in various ways to help your personal health. It is January. It's tone-up time, and she's going to be talking about weight loss issues today. Her name is Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. Welcome back, Dr. Jones. Thanks for coming aboard this morning.
Great to be here. Healthy New Year.
Healthy and happy New Year to you too. I'm imagining that 2014 left behind. We're always looking forward to a new 2015, a new year with a whole sorts of aspirations. Usually a big one, though, however, is to shed the excess poundage that we acquired in the previous year. I know we're going to be talking about that today, but as we normally do too, I'd like to find out, is the newsletter out, and what's in it this month, so our listeners could be brought up to speed on what you spent so much time on to produce.
Yeah, and you know me, I love my photographs. The January, February newsletter just came out, and lots of great info on how to lose any holiday weight you might have gained, and even more than that, I've got a recipe for my famous detox smoothie. I've got a recipe for avocado cucumber bites. One of my friends is the world's most foremost hypnotherapist, and she has this gastric bypass hypnosis surgery that's she's been on all the major talk shows.
Ah.
Rena Greenberg has been having phenomenal results. So you can read about that, how to have glowing skin in 20 minutes, the easiest ways to sleep like a baby, my favorite foods to feed our animal friends, our cats and dogs and other animals, how to say goodbye to anemia and strengthen your blood. Lots of great info. You can find that at SusanSmithJones.com, and right on the homepage, click on the January, February newsletter. Now, of course, that's free. You just click on it. But what lots of people don't know is in the sidebar, when you sign up, and it takes 10 seconds to give me your email address, once a month you get this motivational, uplifting, inspiring letter from me. It's not that long, but this one in January, not only does it have the cutest animal photos you have ever seen, but I give you advice on how to balance your life in January. Let's make a fresh start. Let's make this a new beginning. So you get that if you sign up. And you only get letters from me, emails, once a month. I do not inundate you with lots of emails, so you might want to do that. So all of that is right there on the home page, in the sidebars where you sign up, and you can get the January, February newsletter right on the home page. And let me also say that this morning early, before any of you were awake, and yesterday, I posted 4 blogs. And the first one is all about how to drink water the right way to help you lose weight and detoxify your body. This is a great time of the year to detox. The second is on all of the healing benefits of heat therapy and sweating. The third is all about how to sleep like a baby. And actually, that's the fourth one. And the third one was an interview that a magazine just did on me about my lifestyle and how it is that I've never taken medication, haven't had a cold or a flu in 30 and a half years. And so I talk about how I live, that some people might want to read about that. That's the third blog. So the first 4 blogs are great to read in the next day or two.
Well, look, I've already dialed up your blogs. I've started to scroll through them, and I recommend them to everyone. You spend so much time. It's a great job you do with the newsletter, the blogs, and I get that email once a month, a little personal touch.
Yeah.
And it's a very nice thing to receive once a month, and it's true. You do not inundate me with email.
No, definitely not. And when you sign up for these little monthly letters, you're automatically entered into a drawing that I do once a week. And I contact that person. I just pick a name. And then we can we set up a time to do a 90-minute free consultation to talk about anything you want to talk about. If you are perfectly healthy and you just want to have a visit, we can do that over the phone. And then you get lots of gifts from me when you sign up too. Lots and lots of gifts and free ebooks and great things.
Okay. It is January, and that's the time of the year that most people have made resolutions. It's not uncommon to find that weight and body image weigh in very heavily in January, and you're so appropriate with some tips which you've been providing us on all aspects of health, but in particular, how to get that weight under control. You call it a metabolism. Well, you say tune-up. Actually, it's a play on words. It's a metabolism tone-up. Talk to us about how one can get that newly established constitutional direction in play for 2015. How do you do it?
Well, so before I tell you, let me ask you a question. Did you gain weight over the holidays, and are you happy with where your weight is right now?
Answer the first question.
They say.
Well, answer the first question. I didn't gain any weight over the holidays. That was maybe a first for me.
No, I'm just kidding.
It was a first for me.
All right, go ahead.
No, I didn't gain any weight over the holidays, and I'm not absolutely completely pleased with my weight, but it was miraculous to get through those holidays without putting on any weight at all. So
yeah, quite amazing.
yeah, it was pretty amazing. Now that I think about it, I hadn't thought about it to this very moment. But yeah,
many people gain between about 2 and 10. I know 2 people that gain more than 10, and I know a handful of out of about 100 like you that didn't gain any weight, which is great. But sadly, surveys around America indicate that most people are not happy with their weight or the shape of their body. And the sad thing is that a majority of these people are going about it the wrong way, the hard way, by dieting, which doesn't work. And you want to throw away any diet books that tell you that you can lose weight and keep it off without moving the muscle, because Dennis, they're ripoffs. And after you finish the diet, you may have lost some fat, but you haven't lost your tendency to get fat. And it all has to do with muscle metabolism and the control. And this is so important for people to understand, because if you diet and always do it just by changing what you eat or eating fewer calories, it's a feckless way to lose weight. You're always swimming upstream. And the control mechanism for obesity, it's not diet, although there are a few foods that help burn a few more calories, like hot, spicy foods and cayenne.
Mm-hmm.
But the control mechanism for obesity and being overweight is not diet, it's muscle metabolism. Now, if you forgot from your physiology classes at high school and college, the basal metabolic rate is the rate at which your body utilizes energy. In other words, how efficiently your body burns calories. And your metabolism is higher. When it is higher, you burn more fat and have an easier time losing weight or fat or maintaining your ideal body weight. And you can feed your beautiful muscles the best food and the best vitamin supplements in the world. But if exercise is not part of the plan, they won't burn up the calories in those foods. And all of you know that are aging, since we all do that, is as you age, and if you don't continue to keep your muscles exercised, your metabolism will slow down. And then, you know that, you'll gain more weight easily, much easier than when you were young. So exercise is the key to controlling metabolism.
Got to have it in the program, don't you? You just can't do it on the food issue alone.
Yeah, and if any of you are thinking or saying out loud, Susan, you don't understand, I'm busy, I don't have time to work out, I don't have time to go to the gym, I don't have the money to join a gym. There's so much that you can do at home, so many simple things. There are great DVD programs you can get when you watch TV at night, like many people do. At every commercial, you can get up and step in place and maybe hold, even if you don't have some dumbbells at home, and I'm not talking about family members, I'm talking about weight. You can get some bottles of water or detergent, and you can lift those up. So much that you can do. Now, if any of you have ever lost weight only to gain it again, you're not alone, because 2 out of every 3 people who go on a diet will regain their weight in less than a year. And 97% will gain all the weight back within 5 years, and even worse. And maybe this has happened to a few of you. When I was younger, this happened to me. A majority of dieters will lose weight only to gain back even more fat than they had before they started the diet. And everyone who does this is violating an important rule in creating and maintaining a healthy, fast metabolism. And that is, they've probably lost lean body mass. That means your muscle. And an overweight person needs to retrain his or her body so that it burns up all of the calories it gets, storing them as fat. Now, maybe you do need some kind of diet, like a detox, and we'll talk a little bit about that if we have time now, but there's lots of info in my January newsletter. But sometimes, you need a little diet just to help break bad eating habits, maybe to stop always having dessert or salting your food or overeating. But what you've got to realize is that for long-term weight control, that it requires a change in body chemistry so you won't get fat all over again. And exercise is the only way to change your metabolism so that your body converts fewer calories to fat. And you need aerobic exercise, like walking, to burn the fat out of your muscles, and then you need some type of weight training or strength training, very important, to build up the muscle, which in turn increases metabolism.
So how far do you walk? How far do you walk?
How far do you walk?
Well, an hour a day.
Like, where's the beef? I don't know. Maybe I need more sleep last night. I think I'm being a little silly this morning. I'll tell you what is very motivating is to, if you don't have one, gift yourself with a pedometer. And you can wear it on your foot or your hip, wherever, on your wrist, and count the steps you take during the day. And your goal is to get, do you know how many steps, Dr. Dennis?
No, I don't. I'm asking. How many steps?
Take a guess.
10,000.
Say 1 million, though.
No, I'm going to say 10,000.
Yes, you're right.
Am I right?
You're serious. You didn't know. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Get 10,000 steps in each day. So I always wear one when I hike or walk. When I'm done with the show, I'm going to go hike. And I found one friend to get up early enough with me, and she was willing to do that with me this morning. And when I get towards the end of the hike, I'll look at my pedometer, and let's say I'm 500 steps short. I will just make sure I walk a little bit more. It's fun to do that. And let's say you don't work out that day and you work in an office. You can find ways, to take the stairs instead of the escalator and the elevator. Park at the far end of a parking lot. You can get even 10,000 steps in during a day, even if you didn't go out and mindfully take a walk or a jog. So that's a great motivator.
10,000 a day. And how about, what kind of, with the average stride being what it is, can you put that in terms of a distance? How far is that?
Well, gosh, it depends. It depends on how tall someone is, but it's approximately 2 to 3 miles.
All right.
Yeah. Now, for some people, it might be 5. For my really tall friends, it would be less, obviously. But pedometer's a great thing. And now I know where I live here in the Brentwood, Santa Monica area, we have pretty good conditions year round to walk outdoors. I know it's much colder where you are. And it's always good for people in everyone listening in your area to have some type of aerobic equipment at home, whether it's a treadmill or a little stepper or an elliptical. They even have fold-up treadmills now, or they've got those Bowflex machines that combine stepping and elliptical and treadmill all together. Because if I lived in your environment, I don't think I would go outside to walk very often. I would make sure I have something in my home. And there are things you can get, like little steppers that might cost less than $100, and you could use it when you're watching TV.
Well, I would agree with you. It's not the greatest atmosphere to be walking in. 3 degrees here in Pittsburgh, and you told me 85 yesterday.
And I'm going to talk in a moment about saunas and water and sleep. But let me talk a little bit longer to motivate everybody about muscle and how to increase it and how many more calories you'll burn a day. By the way, the answer is about 500. When you have a little bit more muscle on your body. This is very motivating. Do you go to the gym? Do you lift weights?
That I don't do. No.
Do you have any weights in your home?
Yeah, I've got 4 boys. There's weights laying all over the place.
That's right. Yeah, they'd be great to just put on your back when you do push-ups. Because at home, if you just get down on the floor, or, if you're older and you have like the kitchen counter, you can do a push-away. And that means that you put your hands, I'm doing it, you can't see, in front of you about shoulder distance height, and you step back and have your feet about shoulder distance apart for more balance rather than right next to each other. So imagine that both of your palms of your hands are on the kitchen counter, and if you have a wide grip on the counter, wider than your shoulders, that will get the chest, the pecs, and a little bit for the front of the shoulders. If your hands are closer together, then that gets the tricep, the underneath part of your arm. So you can do that. You can do planks on the floor, and if you can get down on the floor, you can do full push-ups. You can do crunches. It's always good to also have just a few little pieces of equipment at home that you can use. And, on your gift list for yourself, if you don't have a good workout DVD with someone that you would like, I wish I had one, I don't. Those are motivating to use. And then after a while, you know the routine so well that, and by the way, Pilates is great because Pilates will strengthen your body, decrease the shape, help you to lose weight, but also make you more flexible. But anyway, listen, I could go on, and we have so much more to cover, and most of this is in my January, February newsletter. But I should probably start talking about muscle.
Okay.
Right. Keep in mind that the muscle in your body burns fat. It's that simple. Proper exercise increases muscle, tones it, alters its chemistry. Exercise increases the fat-burning enzymes in the muscle and also increases the metabolic rate. Now, before I describe the best exercises to burn more fat, to burn calories, let me talk a little bit more about this muscle metabolism. The more muscle density that you have on your body, that means faster metabolism because muscle uses more energy to exist in your body than fat. And because muscle is a highly metabolic tissue, pound for pound, it burns 5 times as many calories as most other tissues, with the exception of the brain. And when you have more muscle mass, and I don't mean you have to be a big, heavy-duty bodybuilder. I mean having less flab and just more tone and muscle, like every female and male would like to have. So when you have more muscle mass, you burn more calories than someone who doesn't, even when you're both sitting still. And that's why people who build some muscle, which means that they've worked out, they do it on a regular basis, not religiously, Easter and Hanukkah and Christmas. You can burn more calories when sitting still or at sleep, and you have an easier time maintaining your weight. In other words, people with muscle are more efficient calorie burners. Now you're going to love this part. If you increase your muscle mass, of course you increase the number of calories your body is using every moment of the day, not just when you're at work or not even just during exercise, but also play and sleeping. And here's the main point. The addition of 10 extra pounds of muscle on your body. And that's the goal, because the more muscle, the more youthful your body. And the more you lift some weights, the more you increase that human growth hormone in your body, which keeps you youthful and vital, and fewer gray hairs and fewer wrinkles. But when you add 10 pounds of muscle on your body, you will burn approximately 500 more calories a day. Now, you'd have to jog 6 miles a day, 7 days a week, to burn the same number of calories. And 10 extra pounds of muscle on your body can burn a pound of fat in a week by doing nothing else than having those 10 extra pounds of muscle on your body. A pound a week is 52 pounds a year. You can tell I'm getting excited about this.
Yeah.
So I've got everyone's attention. All right, you're thinking, all right, Susan, I want to add more muscle on my body. How do I do it, and what does all this mean? Well, here's what happens. When you let me say this first. The best way to increase the lean muscle mass is through resistance training. You know, you can call it weight training or strength training. It's using barbells, dumbbells, machines, cables, even freehand movements like push-ups and push-aways and crunches and dips. But all of this will add 10 extra pounds on your body. But here's the sad thing. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to be consistent. And if you want to, and this is why you need to start now. January is the best time of year to start this, because you're highly motivated, I think. But to add 10 extra pounds on your body, all you need to do is do weight training 30 to 40 minutes 3 times a week.
Well, that's doable.
For about 4 to 6 months. Yeah, so it will take 4 to 6 months. If you're very consistent and you do 40 minutes 3 times a week, it will take about 4 months. But as you're building on the muscle, realize you'll be reshaping your body, you'll be gaining energy and more empowerment and self-confidence. You'll feel like you have control over your body again. But if you don't go to the gym to do this, you've got to have some type of equipment or maybe and a DVD that you watch at home to help you. You know, I go to many homes of people that are, you know, sadly, they're embarrassed to go to the gym because they don't want to look in mirrors. So I set up programs for them at home where we usually get them a simple bench, you know, and they devote either a room or a corner of a room or maybe a corner of the living room or part of the garage. But in your area, you would need a heater.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, with just a little bit of equipment. Or I get the perfect DVDs, you know, so they can have the program to use at home. Some people even get these Pilates reformers. But you don't need to really spend that much money to get healthy when you exercise. It's always good to have a good pair of shoes, though, that really support you. Mm-hmm. So that's the strength training. But you also want to add aerobic exercise. Now, aerobic, the word aerobic means with oxygen. And this is the type of activity that when you do it, like a walk, you don't get out of breath. And aerobic activity trains muscles to burn fat, and it helps to increase metabolism. And it's when, let's say you're jogging with a friend, or let's say you're doing a power walk. And let's say you're with your husband, and your husband is breezing along and singing a song, but you're so out of breath that you can barely put 2 syllables together to keep up with him. You see, he's burning fat, but your fat-burning mechanisms have shut down. You're just kind of burning sugar from the last 2 to 3 meals you've eaten. Your muscles really do prefer to burn fat because they're more efficient, and there's more of it, so you can last longer. So in other words, if you're doing a power walk with your husband and he's in better shape, you know, send him ahead to the next tree really quickly, have him come back and loop around you. Or maybe you're in better shape than your husband, and you go ahead and you loop around something and come back. But you've got to remember that you've got to stay in that aerobic target zone so that you burn the right amount of calories and you don't go from burning fat to burning sugar. That makes sense?
Burning fat instead of sugar.
Yeah, and if you're sprinting and you're breathless and you cannot talk to someone next to you, you're burning the sugar, and you want to really burn the fat. Now, don't do this if you're just starting to work out. Give it about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month. But once you've worked out, you've got a solid 2 weeks to a month under your belt, you want to add higher intensity bursts to your exercise plan. And this means, and it's amazing how this can make you quickly lose weight. And it could be that you're on a little stepper. I have an old, do you remember that company, Sharper Image?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So decades ago, I bought this little stepper where you just step on it and you go up, down, with your feet. Sometimes I pull it out when the TV's on. And when, let's say you have 5 minutes of commercials, and I'll take about 90 seconds in the commercials, and I keep a big clock in that room with a second hand, and I go as quickly as I can for 90 seconds. Or if you're riding your bike, you pedal as quickly as you can. Or if you're walking, you walk as quickly as you can. And these are these high intensity bursts that you do within a workout. And when you do that, they help you burn more fat. They force your body to raise the level of intensity for a short burst of getting winded. And when you do that, you're forcing your body to recover under stress. In other words, when you continue to exercise. Like now, I'll go on a hike, and there are hills and mountains that I go up and down, and sometimes I'll see an oak tree at the top of the hill, and I'll say to myself, and I don't jog, but I'll go, I prefer, because it's easier on my joints at my age, but I prefer to do like power walks, so I'll walk as quickly as I can up the steep hill, and you get winded during that time, that's okay. And then you don't just stop at the top and bend over and hold your knees and try to get air in, but then you just keep walking. And that forces your body to recover while you're still working out. And this grows these fat gobbling up enzymes in your body so quickly. And for many people that I train, this is the one thing that we need to add to their program to get them to lose weight quicker. And you can do that 4 or 5 or 6 times even during a workout.
Okay. Now, what are we gonna? I think we got this thing with the muscle and all the steps down. What other component other than the exercise, which I know you said is so vitally important? What about the intake side or the food side or the hydration side? Any role that?
Definitely. Let's talk about food. See, the typical dieter will often skip meals and especially breakfast. And this forces your body into a temporary fasting state because you've been fasting throughout the night. Hopefully you don't get up and sleepwalk and eat. And this sends a signal to your body that food is scarce. And as a result, the stress hormones increase and the body begins lightening the load or shedding the muscle tissue. And decreasing muscle tissue decreases the body's need for food. And by the next feeding, the pancreas is then more sensitized and will sharply increase blood insulin levels, which is the body's signal to make more fat. And if you're already insulin resistant, as many sedentary people are, you make extra amounts of this hormone insulin, which then will make and deposit fat very easily. In other words, you want to exercise to build muscle, and you want to graze throughout the day, and you want to eat at least every 3 to 4 hours, smaller, healthy meals, the quickest way to lose weight. Now, we talked about this ages ago, but do you remember how sumo wrestlers get so big?
Yeah, you brought that up once before.
I know. Mm-hmm. You told me you were dreaming about them.
I was dreaming about? I don't know if I...
I'm kidding. Well, here's what they do. They fast, and then they gorge themselves with food. So as you can see, this approach is absolutely counterproductive if your goal is to lose fat. You know, if you want to increase metabolism, you want to eat several smaller, healthy meals a day. This kind of grazing approach keeps your metabolism stoked. It keeps you from feeling deprived, which is one of the chief complaints of anyone who's ever been on a diet. Now, in terms of drinking water, you know, we've had 2 shows in the past on this, but I cannot encourage enough. In fact, drinking alkaline water and taking an infrared sauna. So many of my clients, for their holiday gifts, bought themselves an infrared sauna, which I know in your area would be so welcomed right now with the cold, and an alkaline machine. Just And by the way, this is my first and second blog at SusanSmithJones.com. But there's so many factors that cause an acidic shift in the body, and this is a medical condition called metabolic acidosis, and everything from a poor diet to lack of exercise to medications, stress, a toxic body, junk foods, coffees, alcohol, depression, negative thoughts, they all cause your body to be too acidic. And the more acidic you are, Dr. Dennis, the more you hold on to the fat in your body. And acidosis is a condition when there's too much acid built up in the body fluids. And this condition weakens all your body systems and creates an environment conducive to disease. And in the first blog, I talk about all the foods that are very alkaline, because you want 80% of the foods you eat to be alkaline, 20% to be acidic. Most people eat just the opposite. And one of the quickest ways to detox your body, to help the fat to be released, to use as an energy substrate, in other words, to burn it, to give you energy and to lose fat, is to have a whole body change of drinking alkaline water. And I see people that do everything I say, from sleeping well to, keeping a balanced life, to doing exercise, but they still have a hard time losing weight. And oftentimes, the moment they drink the alkaline water, which, by the way, makes your skin look so beautiful and glowing and youthful, and I've been drinking alkaline water for 20 years, and I won't buy it in health food stores because I don't want to buy plastic bottles, and it's never the right pH. It's really good to get a device that you put in your kitchen or your office, and you use it for making meals and for drinking. But when your body is even a little bit dehydrated, it lowers your metabolic rate. So even if you don't drink alkaline water, you want to make sure you keep your body hydrated with really good water. And remember, coffees and caffeinated teas and alcohol and chocolate drinks, they all dehydrate your body. So absolutely keep your body hydrated. And you'll get lots of information in the first blog. And the second blog is all about an infrared sauna. That's different than a regular dry sauna. It's certainly different than a steam room. And our bodies are very toxic. Studies indicate that most of us have between 400 and 800 chemical residues stored in our fat cells. And to stay healthy and strong in this chemical-ridden world, it's essential to help the body do removal of all the harmful toxic waste. And I think in springtime, maybe March, we'll talk about detoxification again. You can get lots of info in my January, February newsletter. But I for decades, I've been using an infrared sauna. And by the way, far infrared is a section of natural light band, a natural band of light that's not visible to the human eye, but it can be felt as heat. And infrared saunas are not as suffocating and hot and hard to be in as a regular dry sauna. And it's what they use infrared light to warm the little incubators of little babies that need to be in there. And they've been scientifically proven to help with stress relief. If you have any cellulite you want to get rid of, it really helps with that. It helps with pain relief, relaxation, making your skin look great. And other studies show that a person can burn up to 300 calories during an infrared sauna session. And that's the equivalent to about a 2 to 3 mile jog or an hour of moderate weight training. So those of you that, I'm not telling any of you not to exercise, because that's important. But if for whatever reason you can't and you don't want to, An infrared sauna is a great way to go because it's like you're getting a cardiovascular workout. And it does not increase blood pressure, especially as you get older, the way the dry saunas do. But you got to pick the right sauna. You want an infrared, but you want it from a company that doesn't use chemicals and toxic glues and unhealthy wood in the building of the sauna. So at SusanSmithJones.com, the second blog is all about infrared saunas. You can see the one I use, Thermal Life. And that company is it's High Tech Health, a great company in Boulder, Colorado. And they're giving $500 off a sauna for infrared sauna this month, because it's the beginning of the year, and $300 off the Ionizer Plus alkaline machine I've been using both their Thermalife sauna and their ionizing machine for over 20 years, and never a problem. And I know, Dennis, that people, well, let me say this, people tell me all the time I look younger than my age. My grandmother was the person when I was a teenager that taught me about saunas. She didn't know about infrared and those way back then. But I know that my alkaline water is how I keep my body really detoxified and my skin looking younger, and the saunas. And those two things and my Vitamix blender, those are the three things that are the most important health products in my life that give me great health. But not just me. I work with people in America and all over the world. But especially the people I work with right here in my area, their lives change when they get this alkaline water machine. So you make fresh alkaline water that's the perfect pH. And they take saunas, and all of a sudden, within a week of taking a few saunas, your skin looks younger. Remember, your skin is your biggest eliminative organ. And you want to keep it skin brushed. Remember, we talked about dry skin brushing. You can read about it in my newsletter. And then after you dry skin brush, you shower, and then you step into this sauna. And there's no makeup artist that can give you the glow that you'll have on your skin that you'll have after you finish one session in an infrared sauna.
I know I have one, and I use it frequently. It's something that I think that investment will pay off big time.
Yeah, and listen, there's no doubt about it. It's pricey. It's a lot of money, and I saved for a long time, over 20 years ago, to get mine. But the gift of health is the best gift you can give yourself and others, and it was the best investment I made. And the fact that you can get $500 off this month is absolutely terrific. Now, if any of you don't have, you told me some of your listeners don't even use a computer, so let me give you the toll-free number right now of that high-tech health company in Boulder that creates the Alkaline Plus machine, really easy to connect to your kitchen faucet. And they make two things, the alkaline device called Ionizer Plus and saunas. And saunas you can get for one person up to 6 or 8 people. I get the 6-person one. I'm the only one who uses it, but I like to lie down in the sauna. That's how I start. Then halfway through, and sometimes I fall asleep. Halfway through, sometimes I'll get out and take a cold shower, maybe not. And then I go back in or stay in, and then I sit up and I listen to motivational tapes in the sauna. And sometimes I listen to word tapes where I no, nobody's listening, right? This is all private. But I love to learn new words. I love to have a better vocabulary. So I listen to tapes that teach me about new words and how to use them in sentences. I know I'm weird. Maybe that's the reason why I still live alone, that I'm not married.
We won't get into that.
I love to do that. But, and then I get out of the sauna. And, by the way, I take my alkaline water in the sauna with me. And then I get out and then I'll make a smoothie. So I've used, these investments that aren't cheap, but they've made a world of difference in my life. And people that start using these three, just like myself, they start to no longer have colds and the flu. They begin to look younger. They lose weight. It's easy to maintain weight. They lose cellulite. They reshape their bodies. You know, but these are all commitments that you want to make, and then you stick to it.
Well,
now you can't forget sleep. And I'm just going over really quickly, just to make sure I give you the accurate info at SusanSmithJones.com. Here you go. If you click on blog, and the first blog is about the water that I posted this morning. The second's about heat therapy and the benefits of sweating and infrared saunas. The third one is my best tips to live a healthy, balanced life in 2015. And it's an article that, an interview on me that a magazine did, and I posted it. And then the fourth blog is about how to sleep like a baby, how to get the best sleep of your life. And I give you lots of tips right there that will help. But certainly in that January, February newsletter, lots of great advice. And make sure over in the sidebar, you see, you scroll down and it says Susan's newsletters and updates. Sign up now. When you give me your email address, you get lots of gifts right back. You'll get three free ebooks, all in color, that I wrote. One's the Curative Kitchen, one's on how to detoxify and rejuvenate your body, and one is all about the best superfoods for your body. So you'll get that, and then every month you'll get that special motivational, uplifting letter I send out. And remember, just once a month. I'm signed up at Williams-Sonoma. They sometimes send me emails daily, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. And it's a little scary, because if I've looked at an item, 2 days later, I get an email back saying, we're so happy you spent some time looking at this item.
Oh, they know what you're doing.
Gosh. So,
all right, look.
Over the weekend, I unsubscribed.
All right, look, we are at the gong. And we take it right up to the gong. You're back in the month of February, on February 4th.
Yes, I'll give you more weight loss and detox tips.
All right.
I'll really go into detox in March.
Go enjoy your pedometer and your walk. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
There you have it. Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. Weight loss tips, metabolic tone-up for 2015. That brings us to a conclusion today. Look forward to seeing you on Friday with a Brescia report. We'll open them up for you to come on in and set the agenda as you see it. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones saying so long for AM Impact on Your Health. Susan.